Alright, I'm on hole number 9 of the 2019 Summer Major. Let's go to Golf Clash Notebook and check it out. Golf Clash Notebook. Alright, I'm not a fan of this spot over here for several reasons. The wind is going in this direction, so if you hit over here, you're going to have the wind going with you, so the wind adjustment will be very critical, especially if you're getting close to this rough up here. So if you are getting too close to that rough and you don't make a good wind adjustment, you could find yourself clipping that rough. So just be cognizant if you're down in here to give yourself enough room. What I don't like about this shot up here is that the epic fail quotient, where you get up in here and you clip out here in the rough, you're done. There's no, your eagle shot's gone if you clip in the rough over here. And no matter where you end up over here, you're going to have to bring a big wood. And this area in here going down into the hill, down into this hole, and then up the hill it's a difficult transition. I see a lot of people, I can foresee a lot of people having problems in the weekend round with this shot. They may end up in the right spot here, but this second shot is the one that they're going to have problems with. Whereas if I hit out here in the clear and try and get more into any wood that I have in the bag, and if you really tried to, I hit this yesterday with a big topper and I put on just enough overpower that the needle wasn't really going any faster to try and eke out as much distance as I could. I was in about mid wood out here. You could try and overpower that shot and get it out here even further so that you might be able to get into your long iron range. But there's several different ways that you can approach it from over here. You could bring it around over here and try and side spin, backspin, curl it towards the hole, get on the green, get your eagle and go home. You could try a rough bump here. I think that's a viable shot, because normally I don't like to do rough bumps when they're on hillsides, because usually there's sand in play, but there's such a big window here that you can pretty much avoid the sand, I think, to try and get it up there. Or if you've got a big enough Guardian where it's got its backspin, you could engage the green directly. And that's what I'm going to do here, is try and engage the green directly. And I'm going to do, the first time I came through here, I did hit it like 2 rings great to the right. And I was off quite a bit. About pin high though. So I'm going to do a mid club adjustment with a 10%. I'm going to do a mid club adjustment, and I'm not going to add on or take off anything for the wind, and try and hit this perfect so that I can see where I'm at, so I can try and dial this second shot in. And even though the wind's going with us, if we were out here in this particular type of shot, it's going to be tough. This is a tough Albie shot to begin with, but I think my chances of getting on the green and securing eagle are much higher over here than they will be from over here. So I'm going to come at this with a big topper. And I have worked diligently on my big topper. In this account I don't have. Alright. Let's see if we can get the distance out there. I'm going to set up, let me set up 2 bags. I'll bring that one. And I'll set up a big topper in here. I'm going to bring a Titan. And the goal is if I can get over with my big topper, I'm going to bring my big topper. If I can't get over with my big topper without having to use overpower, then I'll bring my extra mile. But either one of those bags, I want to make sure I've got my Guardian as my secondary club and a Saturn on top of that. That was the wrong bag, sorry. Okay, I got the 2 bags I want. I'm going to start off with the big topper, and if I don't like the distance I'm seeing out there, then I will switch immediately to the extra mile. I don't really want to have to do any overpower with my big topper. I don't want to do any overpower where it's making the needle go faster. You can put just a little bit of overpower and not make the needle go faster. But if you have to start making the needle go faster and you got a big topper, it's so inaccurate that it could be an issue. So my opponent's hitting to the right. and just laying it up out there. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if they get any roll down that hill. Alright, so you can see what you're hitting up into to try and get it on the green. The wind's going with us. I give myself plenty of room for a grate to the left or the right. And I'm going to push just up against the nubs. Hitting a grate to the right. And just trying to get as much roll out as I possibly can to get me into my Guardian range. Now I think there really is, I mean, if you look at it right there, I think there's a pretty legitimate shot at doing a rough bump. And that might be the way to engage this. You can see how steep that hill is, and you've got to hit it just right so that that first bounce goes up over that rough area. But not so much over. Yeah, see, that's the difficulty with that shot. I mean, you're trying to get a bunch of things done. Let's look what that rough bump would look like. Yeah, I think there's a serious rough bump right there. Now, if you've got a club that's got, let's see if I got enough backspin to get it to stop at the hole. Okay, so I'm going to do where am I at in my club? There's red. I'm going to do a mid adjustment. I'm just going to do a 2-ring adjustment here, because I think I'm going uphill. Hit it great to the left. I like where I landed. I do think that with this account, because I don't have a Guardian that has its maximum backspin, that the next time I get on this hole in this account, I'm definitely going to try that rough bump. I think the rough bump here is going to be maybe the best way for us to actually get an Albie, because it's something that we can really work on. And anytime you're using backspin to really try and get it in the hole, it's really difficult to make backspin shots. I mean, some holes are more prone to getting the backspin to go into the hole, but it's always a tricky shot, because which way is it gonna, when it hits and it backspins, which way is it gonna go? And you really got to kind of dial that in. But I do think I think our best shot is going to be to hit it straight forward and try and do a rough bump. It looked like we had a pretty legitimate shot there with a rough bump, with maybe one top spin, just enough to pop us out of that, and that probably would have put me pin high. And then it'll all boil down to trying to establish what the wind adjustment should be. Alright, that was hole number 9 of the 2019 Summer Major. Thanks for watching.